No, yeah, I know. No, really, it's fine. No, don't worry about it. No, well, don't worry. After this, we'll talk.
All right, Darby Ferrari, rail
We'll talk
slide.
after this.
Oh, wow, that one's sticky. Oh.
What? No, it's fine. No, seriously, it's fine. Oh, nope. No? You don't think that's... Okay. All right, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. President. Yeah. All right. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll see you later, Mr. President. Edit the skits while streaming. Yeah, let's totally do that. That'll be fun to watch. Will 1 trillion trees stop climate change, chat? What do we think? Dude, live editing's literally just as boring as live music production. Straight up. It's so fucking boring, dude.
Fact, Earth is experiencing climate change on a scale and pace never before seen since our species has been on the planet. And we're causing it by pumping more heat-trapping carbon into the atmosphere than Earth's natural systems can take out. Now, fixing a problem as massive as climate change is going to take a ton of different solutions. But more and more people are asking if
we'll never solve it.
Might be a big part of the answer.
You want to know why we'll never solve it, chat? Is because we're too busy up our own asses and trying to make money. We'll never, ever fix climate change. Because humans will never stop wanting more and more money. So we will never, ever fix climate change. Because we will never, as a world, come together and stop our expiration date, try to move back humanity's expiration date. Instead of doing that, we're busy waging wars about dumbass shit. You know? Like, we're never going to fix climate change.
Past 370 million years or so, they've been one of the major ways Earth sucks excess carbon out of the atmosphere and stores it away. And along with green plants and algae, this natural technology captures carbon better and cheaper than any human.
Oh yeah, also something funny about the whole tree thing. Our tree population is literally dwindling like fast as hell because of forest fires. I think I was like 1/5 of the Amazon rainforest is burned down already.
Technology we've come up with so far. But can trees actually make a big enough difference in cleaning up our mess? Or are we, well, barking up the wrong tree? I'm gonna dig into three different ways that trees might help solve climate change. Planting a bunch more trees, saving the trees we've already got, and whether the field of synthetic biology might give scientists the power to hack photosynthesis and make trees even better at being trees.
That'd be epic.
If you were paying attention to YouTube last year, then you probably heard about Team Trees, a project created by Mr. Beast with help from Mark Rober to raise $20 million to plant 20 million trees by, well, now, 2020. And they succeeded. Or really, all of us did. We basically took over YouTube with tree videos, and to date, Team Trees has raised over $21 million to plant 21 million trees, which is insanely awesome. But the Team Trees team made one thing very clear.
20 million trees by 2020 isn't going to cure climate change, but it's a step in the right direction.
So, like, what does 21 million...
Dude, no joke. If every human on planet Earth walked outside and planted a tree, like we'd already be like way ahead of everything. Like literally, if every single human, so it's like, hey, let's just put a tree right here. Boom. But obviously that would never happen.
Million trees do for the climate.
Tree
Tom from the channel Aspect Science made a great video analyzing how Team Trees works that you should check out for more details. But long story short, 21 million trees covers an area a lot.
Dude, we already have like full-on self-driving cars, like legitimately where you don't even need a driver. The problem is getting that out and basically pushing out, you know, gas guzzlers. What's the problem with gas guzzlers and pushing that out and getting to the point where driving is fully autonomous is that's taking out a huge, company, like a huge business. And the car companies are, I mean, you can probably see every single car company, their new cars tend to not be gas cars. They tend to be electric cars because they're trying to hurry up and move in that direction before they're fucked. Because, dude, in the future, I really doubt anyone's even going to need a license because every car is going to be electric and self-driven, which is going to be 1,000 times safer because one of the most common ways to die, especially for teenagers, is car accidents. So, like, if that would solve a shitload of things.
A lot less than you think. And according to researchers, an area of new forest that size can capture 4 million tons of carbon dioxide spread out over tens of years. Considering that the world emitted more than 40 billion tons of carbon dioxide in 2019, you would have to do team trees literally thousands of times to plant enough trees to suck it all up. Sounds pretty impossible, doesn't it? Well, it might not be. Meet Felix Finkbeiner.
Dude, you can't even compare planes to cars. Like planes, it's like 1 in a million. Cars, it's like, what's your chances of dying in a car accident? One in 100. One in 11 million. 1 in 100 compared to 1 in 11 million. And it's funny because it's so funny when I hear people like, oh, I'm scared that robots are going to be driving my car. What if they drive off the road? What do you mean? You're like, humans are the dumbest freaking creatures that exist right now. They literally will drive. They don't pay attention to the road. They look at their phones all the time. Like, hey, I don't like planes, but Amy, I'm just saying, all I'm saying is 1 in 100 and 1 in 11 million, you know? How many forest animal deaths are related to cars? Yeah. Dude, automated cars won't get on your ass. Automated cars don't have road rage. Automated cars don't get drunk behind the wheel. Automated cars don't get high behind the wheel. Automated cars, they just do their job, you know? And actually something I found out, I was watching a video a couple days ago. Apparently, it's not worth it. When I did it, I had fucking jet lag the entire vacation. I feel like that wasn't just because of the plane. That was from other stuff. But, what was I saying? Oh, apparently the majority of the accidents in airplanes is human error, not robotic error. Because apparently, or AI or whatever you want to call it. Apparently the majority of like landings and all this different shit is all automated. Like basically the pilots are kind of just like making sure everything's working fine. But apparently the majority of the reasons why planes crash is because of the pilot, not anything to do with the automated part of the plane, which is interesting.
Today we want to convince the world to plant 1 trillion trees. That's roughly the number of trees we have space for globally.
The seed for this idea began when Felix was in just 4th grade.
During a presentation I was giving about climate change back then, to tell my classmates that we should plant 1 million trees in each country of the world. And my classmates loved the idea. They were super enthusiastic about planting trees. A few weeks later, we planted our first tree without really knowing where we would go from there. 2 local journalists.
I'm sorry I'm literally stun locked right now. But the having 1 less kid thing, I agree with. Why does everyone need 10 children? Like, it's so stupid. Like, there's so many people who, like, want 6 or 7 kids. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're a great parent and you have enough time for your kids, whatever. But every time you see those people with, like, 5 or 6 kids, they're fucking depressed. They hate their life. They hate their children. They treat their children like shit. It's like you would probably be a lot happier if you just had 1 or 2. Or adopt. Yeah, that too. Like, I mean, come on. One kid's too much in my opinion. Dude, I have one kid, and like, I'm sorry, it's kind of easy. Don't get me wrong, I am a little bit lucky. I'm very, very lucky. Who am I kidding? I'm extremely lucky because I work at home, so I get to spend a lot of time with my son. But I'm saying if I had 4 kids or 5 kids, that would be hard as shit, you know? But me no like condoms. Okay, then you're just dumb. Like that is honestly the dumbest. Like, it's so stupid when people say that. But I like sex. I know he's joking. Amy, let me keep going. Let me continue through, and you'll see what I'm saying. Because I was talking about people who are like that. Because there are people like that. There are so many people who are like, oh, but I like sex without condoms. It's like, yeah, it's totally worth it. Yep, you're right. You know, having a child, going through 9 months of pregnancy, and dealing with raising a child is totally worth that 1 second of how much, maybe 2 seconds, depending on how long you last. And I always find it funny how it's like women always have to take the birth control. Women always end up having to get their tubes tied. When guys, literally all they have to do is like take some scissors and just snip. Like, girls have to go through hell just so their bro can like bust a load in them and be okay. Like, it's so dumb. Like, when like I know people who like force their wife to get their tubes tied. Just get a vasectomy. What do you mean? Like, getting your tubes tied is way like less safe and way less what's the word? It doesn't work all the time. Vasectomy stream when? Don't women also need permission from their spouse in some instances? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Or learn how to fucking pull out. Well, I mean, that too. I mean, like, the problem is dudes, think about this, chat. One guy can impregnate 100 women. You know? One guy can impregnate a shitload of women. A woman can only impregnate herself. I mean, she has to get impregnated by someone. But I'm saying, like, it's just her. You know? Like, she can't make other people pregnant. Pulling out doesn't really work, though. Yeah, I agree. Yo, big feminist. Amy is lucky to have you. The thing is I don't even consider it being like a feminist. It's literally just like I see things how they are. You know, I'm not an idiot. Yeah, I'm so lucky. ... Okay, Amy, we get it. Like, it shouldn't be that I am a good, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's how people look at it. It's so stupid. It's like, because I like my wife and because I am a quote-unquote feminist, it's always like, Amy's lucky to have me. Amy's lucky to have me. You know, Amy's like... This shouldn't be weird. This shouldn't be rare. This shouldn't be like this. You know, it's never like, because I'm like this, never like, you know, I'm lucky to have Amy or anything. It's always the opposite. And it's weird. It should not be rare. It should not be rare for a dude to respect his wife and to realize like how like what we need to get equality. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, I don't want to be praised for just respecting my wife. or respecting women. I shouldn't even be praised for that. Should just be like, okay, that's good, whatever. You know, that's it. It shouldn't be like, oh my God, you're amazing because you respect women. It's just, no. That shouldn't be a ridiculous, wild, crazy thing. Because people are fucked up. Well, I know. It just makes me mad. Like, you want to know what's funny? I don't know if I should mention it. Yeah, like whenever we go to Amy's families, they say really, really sexist, fucked up shit a lot. And I always tell Amy to like stay away from it because it's like really fucked up shit. Like one of her family members literally said like if she left me, I wouldn't even cry. I wouldn't even be sad. Because like I honestly don't even understand what they were thinking when they said that, but it was a sexist comment. It's like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine if you left him. Like what? What even? What? How do we get on this? We're talking about fucking climate change, dude. Yeah, then you're told all the time that you're lucky to have me. And like when we threw, it's so stupid. Like for example, when we threw my son's birthday party, Amy did everything. Amy planned everything. It was the best fucking birthday party I've ever seen for a kid. And she planned everything. And at the end of it, I got praised. At the end of it, her dad went up to me. He's like, "Good job. It was a good party, Aaron." It's like, what? I didn't do shit. He's like, "Oh, sure. Oh, you did it." No, I didn't. My fucking wife did. So, oh, I mean, give yourself some credit. It's like, I literally just lifted shit. I brought stuff to the party. That's it. Why are you praising me? Okay. I'll get back to topic. I'll get back to topic. Okay.
Reported about this first tree. That's how some other schools found out about it, and that's when a real competition kicked off. Who would plant the most trees? And that's how Plant for the Planet spread.
A few years after that class project, Felix's group planted its millionth tree, and he was invited to tell his story before the United Nations.
Damn.
For us children, forests are our future.
And there, he met someone very special.
By far the most important person in this story was a woman called Wangari Maathai from Kenya.
There are some people who have changed the world in incredible ways that almost everyone knows about. Gutenberg and the printing press, Albert Einstein and relativity, Jonas Salk and the polio vaccine. But there are others that for some reason we never learn about. Wangari Maathai is one of those people. Maathai was an African biologist who had an idea.
But one of the most beautiful things.
We don't need a day to appreciate women. Appreciate them all the time. Smile. Okay. Like I do find it like I don't know. Like when things are bad, or like when people say fucked up things or do fucked up shit, they do a thing where it's like they do one day of really nice things to make up for being an ass or for being a bad person. Instead of just changing their mindset, there's like, I gave you flowers, you know. Anyway.
She did was she essentially used tree planting as not only a tool for nature conservation, but also for women's empowerment. When I was 9 years old, I heard about this fantastic work, but I didn't understand the true depth of it. I only understood that tree planting helps tackle the climate crisis and saves the polar bear.
She won the Nobel Peace Prize for her work, but few people know her name. So what impact would
International Women's
planting
Day, yeah.
a trillion trees have?
We used to have roughly 6 trillion trees on Earth. So this was before humans started cutting them down. And now we
I thought
have
that was
about
my
half
mouse.
of that remaining. So we've got 3 trillion
We're
instead
touching
of 6
mice.
trillion trees. Now,
Oh, yeah.
ideally, we'd want to go back to the 6 trillion, right? Get back every tree we lost. But of course, we need space for our settlements and much more for agriculture. But we can get about another 1 trillion back. They wouldn't solve the climate crisis on their own, of course. We also need to drastically reduce our global CO2 footprint, but they make it possible to ensure that the global temperature does not rise by more than 2 degrees. And if we manage to plant these trees, they would capture about a quarter of human-made CO2 emissions.
Remember, trees are basically big carbon storage machines that suck CO2 out of the atmosphere and turn it into more tree. Cutting those trees
Glad you mentioned it because they assume things about me and they don't see anything. Yeah. Happens a lot.
down and either burning them or
Stupid.
letting them decompose just puts that carbon back in the atmosphere. Most deforestation happens in Earth's tropical regions. If this tropical deforestation were a country, it would be the 3rd biggest emitter of carbon in the world after China and the US. Almost 1/3 of all the world's carbon emissions since 1850 have come from deforestation. Now, these days, forests remove about 1/4 of the CO2 humans emit into the atmosphere each year and store it away. There is more carbon locked up in the world's trees than in all the fossil fuels still remaining in the ground.
God
And
damn.
beyond carbon, tropical forests act sort of like the planet's air conditioning. They pull moisture out of the ground, release water vapor into the sky, and literally create rain and weather patterns across the globe. Cutting down these tropical forests can raise nearby temperatures by as much as 3 degrees Celsius. So the
Is it
point
2
is,
degrees
keeping
Fahrenheit
the
or
trees
Celsius?
we
I think
have
normally
is
they go
essential if we
Celsius.
want to keep climate change from getting even worse. Now, to put this
Kelvin,
challenging
yeah.
scale, if Team Trees gave us 21 million trees, the 2019 Amazon wildfires that took over social media, well, they burned at least 1 billion trees. And this year's Australian bushfires
God
may
damn.
have burned more than 10 billion trees.
Sheesh.
Luckily, protecting the trees we already have is cheaper and easier than planting new ones. But natural processes like photosynthesis on land and in the ocean are only absorbing about half the CO2 that we currently emit
Is that
every
still a
year.
thing?
I mean, if you think of it like money, we're spending more than we earn in our carbon budget. And many experts think saving trees and planting as many new ones as we can are both part of the answer. But there is one more idea that can make a big difference, and it relies on something called synthetic biology. When plants like trees take carbon
Mushrooms
dioxide out of
do
the
a
air,
huge thing with
they
this
use a
too.
tiny molecular machine inside their cells called an enzyme to grab CO2, stick that carbon onto another molecule, and eventually make sugar. This molecular machine's name is a mouthful.
Let's just build a CO2 vacuum. It's like he's just literally just like a regular vacuum, but you just suck out of the air. You just suck the CO2 out of the air. That'll solve all of our problems. Just like eating horse heartworm medication. CO2 straw. There you go.
Cellulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. But you can just
What's
call it
Bumble?
Rubisco for short. Just about everything on Earth that does photosynthesis, algae, cyanobacteria, grass, trees, you name it, uses Rubisco to grab
The hell's
carbon
Bumble?
out of the air. Scientists think it's the most abundant enzyme on Earth. This little molecular machine has completely reshaped our planet. The
Dating
problem
app?
is,
Oh, hell yeah.
Rubisco isn't very good at its job. Many molecular enzyme machines can
I
carry
don't know.
out
I don't.
thousands
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know dating app names. The only one I know is Kippo, because I was sponsored by them.
of chemical reactions in a single second. Rubisco is super slow. It can only grab 5 to 10 CO2s every second. And about 1 out of every 5 times, Rubisco grabs the wrong molecule. Oxygen.
All right. Okay. I get what they're saying. World dying. We're fucked. Unless synthetic machine helps. In other words, Aaron is lucky to have Amy. True. Any truers? Chat, literally my wife is the only reason I have a YouTube channel. Because if I was dating or married someone else who is not someone who respects people's dreams, then yeah, I would definitely have to quit YouTube. So you guys can thank her for that. I gotta pee.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.